Well, and in theory, you have more leverage while the company's still around and kicking than if the company were to go belly up. Then Vince maybe doesn't feel like he has to pay you as much or give you as good of a spot. Whereas that's not the case while the company's still thriving, or from his perspective, thriving.
Well, it was damn sure thriving because just about that time came the angle with the Midnight Express and the Four Horsemen, and we know what a huge success that was.
Let's back up a little bit and talk about specifically when you're disappointed with your pay-per-view payoff. That's Starrcade 87 or that's Bunkhouse Stampede?
That was the New York pay-per-view, which I believe was the Bunkhouse Stampede.
That's right. January 24th, 1988, Long Island. To add some context to the decision you were about to make, when JCP decided they want to throw their hat in the pay-per-view ring for Starrcade 87, Vince responds by creating the Survivor Series pay-per-view to go head-to-head. To be clear, Survivor Series didn't exist beforehand. It was created to compete with Starrcade 87. Crockett realizes this is a no-win proposition to go head-to-head with Vince, so he moves his start time to an afternoon start. So originally Starrcade 87 was a night show, but because now Survivor Series wanted to go head-to-head, they moved it to an afternoon show. And that's not good enough for Vince. He gives the cable companies a bit of an ultimatum, and he tells them they can't carry both shows. They've got to pick between the WWF, which was now a proven success on the heels of WrestleMania 3, or this new, unproven, regional event called Starrcade. When Crockett decides to run a second big pay-per-view the following January, this time it's in Vince's yard, which feels strategic. It feels like it is a response from what happened before. We're running a show on pay-per-view in New York now, and we're going to call it the Bunkhouse Stampede. So Vince tries to put together another pay-per-view power play with the cable companies, but they won't have it this time. So his solution is to hurt his competitors who are dabbling in his pay-per-view background, or playground rather. Let's create the Royal Rumble and let's give it away on free TV. So the Royal Rumble was created simply to hurt the Bunkhouse Stampede, and it was given away for free on the USA Network. And it happens, of course, on January 24th, 1988, the same day as the Bunkhouse Stampede in Long Island. And Arn, you were part of a 20-man over the top rope battle royal. You're going to last 22 minutes and 37 seconds there. And you're going to address this in a shoot interview years ago, your only shoot interview that I know of. You said we had done a pay-per-view from Long Island earlier, and he made us a promise on a payoff that didn't come through. Now, of course, with Vince giving away the Rumble, that had to hurt the pay-per-view, and the Bunkhouse show only sold 6,000 tickets. So that's not exactly gangbuster business. And it's a disappointing payoff because it's exactly half, but it feels like it might be exactly half because Vince is just, you know, he's playing chess, and maybe the Crockett's are playing checkers. What do you think of that?
Well, it's a cutthroat business. And again, I don't begin to understand it. And when, you know, we just kept getting told, hey, don't worry about what the house was, worry about what the pay-per-view buy rate was, which is it's a figure that's out in the universe floating around that whatever the boss tells you it is, that's what it is. You don't know how you're going to document that.
Right.
So, you know, I was a guy that when my boss told me something, I didn't have a reason to not believe him until there was a reason to not believe him. And I was hanging on. We were at war. And I was one of the soldiers that was handpicked to be on the front lines with Jim Crockett Promotions. And I took that very seriously. And we wanted to win the war. We wanted to, I guess, not only succeed, but prevail. And I was still in the fight. I was still on the side of Jim Crockett Promotions, but I was still getting these occasional messages. Hey, man, why don't you come up here? We're making money. Everybody's happy. You know, a lot of money being made up here. You might want to consider it. So there was a lot going through my head at the time.